Shalom Aleichem, Purim Sameach, and Freilichin Purim. Mishnah Yomi is continuing on this joyous, festive Purim with the 9th chapter of Eiruvin, Mishnah number 4. Habone aliyah al gabe shnei batim. Someone builds an extra story connecting two houses. The Barno here points out, based on the Gemara, these are two houses, b'shnei tzidei reshut rabim, on opposite sides of the street, not just any street, but the public thoroughfare, kind of like the one where Haman was leading Mordechai and everyone saw it. It was very crowded, so it's a reshut harabim deraita, and moving items in that reshut harabim would normally be forbidden. But somebody has connected the two sides of the street by building an upper level on top of the two houses on opposite sides. But ken gesharim hamifuloshim, and so too bridges which a road passes under them, and then there's an overpass passing over. And so the two sides of the overpass are closed off with mechitza, with walls, even though there's a road passing underneath. So metaltalin tachtehen b'Shabbos, you may carry in those enclosures on Shabbat Divri Rabbi Yehuda, according only to Rabbi Yehuda. Now, according to Rabbi Yehuda, having two walls on opposite sides removes this area from being a reshus harabim deraisa, and now it can be a reshus hayachid, even though it has two open walls. Chachamim osrin. The other sages say, no, you can't do that, and the halacha also is not like Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yehuda said in another chiddush, based on this opinion, me'arvin lemavli mefulash. We can make an eruv, shituf really, for an open mavui. That means a mavui that's linked to the public street on both ends. Now we remember from way back in the first chapter that normally we only make a shituf or a eruv, and we use the slechi and the korah, the side post and the top beam, to fix up a mavli she'eino mefulash, a mavli that's open only on one side to the street, and on the other side it is closed. So again here, chachamim osrim, the other sages say you can't. They say, like we said, l'halacha in the first chapter, that only a mavli she'eino mefulash, a mavli that's closed, that's a dead end, a cul-de-sac on one side and opens to the major street on the other side, there you can use the lechi, the korah, and make it as if it's closed off, and make a shituf there. Mazal Tov in chapter 9, on to chapter 10. Hamotzei tefillin, machnisin zug. It's Shabbos, you're out in a public area, and you find tefillin. Now, you can't just leave tefillin sitting out there. They could be stolen, they could be damaged, so you want to take them into a safe area. You bring them in a pair at a time, meaning he would put them on and wear them. So, basically, we don't usually wear tefillin on Shabbos, but we do hold that Shabbos is man tefillin. You could technically wear tefillin on Shabbos, but there's a rabbinic enactment we learned in Masechta Shabbat that we don't wear tefillin in reshus harabim, because somebody might take them off and carry them. He'd be over on carrying. So really, technically, it's the time you could wear tefillin. So you put them on one pair at a time, and you bring them in somewhere safe. Rabbi Gamliel mer shnayim. He says you can wear two pairs at a time. Rabbi Gamliel holds Shabbos is not the time of tefillin. So if you put on two pairs of tefillin at the same time, you're not over bal tosif, adding on to a mitzvah, because there's no mitzvah on the day of Shabbos to wear your tefillin. Now, this is not the same as something you see sometimes. It's much more common in Eretz Yisrael, among Mikubalim, where they actually do wear two pairs of tefillin at the same time, a Shemush Rabbah, and the big one, and also a smaller one, and they have some sort of spooky Kabbalistic reasons for doing so. And it's not the same thing as what is commonly done, or not uncommonly done, we'll say, where someone wears Rashi tefillin, then takes them off midway through davening Shachar and puts on Rabbeinu Tam. So these are all just, those are cases where, yeah, we understand someone would have two tefillin. But here, Rabbi Gamliel says you could put on two identical pairs of tefillin at the same time, because Shabbos is not Zman tefillin, there's no Baal Tosif, no issue there. Now the Mishnah continues, B'medvar Morim, when does this apply? B'yashanot. Old tefillin, meaning used tefillin, meaning the knots in the straps are already tied. Well, b'chadashot, if it's just the boxes, or they haven't been tied into usable, wearable tefillin, putter. He's putter from bringing the tefillin inside where it's safe, and he can't, because if you haven't tied the knots before Shabbos, you cannot tie the knots on the straps on Shabbos itself. Now the Mishnah concludes, mitzon sivotim, if he found them tied up, or krichot, or bundles of them, bunch of them, too many to schlep home, machshich alehen mevian. So wait there until Shkia, until it's dark, and then bring them in after Shabbos all at once, carrying them in, which you couldn't carry them in on Shabbos, because this was a Rishus Harabim. Ubesakona, and when it's dangerous, meaning the government has a legislation against the tefillin, and there were times in Jewish history when the Greeks, the Romans, other Persians, other people were all very anti-tefillin. Mechoson v'cholech, so cover them up, and then go about your business, and then later on he's going to come back to where he covered them, concealed them from being damaged or stolen, and then get them when it's safe to do so. And of course, the best way to undo the gezerah of anti-Semites is to be proud Jews and wear your tefillin proudly. Yasher kochachem, sei gesund, Chag Sameach.